I'm riding on South Dakota 73 South, and I've been warned, no shoulders and lots of trucking traffic.
With over 3,000 miles behind me since taking off from Boston this summer and several weeks of mostly flat country, I'm psyched to finally get to Denver, Colorado in the next few days and start climbing over the Rocky Mountains. Climbing is a ball for me, and this year I am setting myself up to climb some of the highest passes in the country, including Independence Pass at over 12,000 feet in elevation.
I'm not sure how one can get tired of bicycle touring when you make these turns in these valleys and a million other scenarios, and your eyes open up to landscapes like this. And you're like, okay, so I'm gonna go ride over that one, and then when you get over the next one, you got something else. It's non-stop. It's a crazy ordeal. They're following me. I think they're lonely or hungry or thirsty. No, hungry. Probably hungry. See that guy waving at me? I can't wave back because I'm holding the camera, but I'm amazed every time when I miss waving. They oftentimes wave at me first. All I can do is smile back at the guy. They're clearly salt of the earth. What scenery I have ahead of me. The mountains are coming up, and I am with goosebumps about it. It's gonna be a while before I get to the Rockies, but I'm ready. I am absolutely ready to climb. I am ecstatic about it. I just hope the weather cooperates. I'm late in the season, so, but if it doesn't, I'll wait until it opens up that window for me and I can go, because I gotta do it. I'm not just gonna skirt around. I need to get right over, and I gotta do it in Colorado. All right. Knocking this thing out.
My draw for climbing doesn't just come from the meditative state one reaches with the constant resistance one contends with, but also from the sensation of gaining altitude and the ever-changing stunning scenery.
So far, 73 has a mix of either barely a shoulder and a nice shoulder. It's like half and half maybe. And the good thing is that the road is actually really rough pavement, where the shoulder, regardless if it's the narrow one or the wider one, is really nice and flat. I get off of the short one when I'm downhilling, but when I'm going slow I can stay on that real smooth narrow track. So it's not really bad at all. The only thing to watch out on 73 so far is that there is nothing. You gotta have whatever you're gonna eat and drink for 60 miles to get to Martin.
These long stretches between towns or cities become more the norm the further one rides west. Thankfully, this State Road 73 was without much traffic on this day, so the lack of a decent shoulder at times never became much of an issue. What I most remember of this day was the vast nature of the landscape between Kadoka and Martin on this seemingly endless road.
47 miles of just riding straight, and I'm finally gonna make a turn. It's been unbelievable today with a straight shot south, which feels good. I'm 12 miles from Martin, where I'm gonna spend the night, hopefully at a campground or some camping spot like a city park. We'll see.
I take this right turn on US Route 18 and get my first ever glance at a fully mature and dried sunflower field with its intense black color. Soon after, the road turns back towards the south, and in no time I reach the outskirts of the city of Martin.
I see Martin ahead, about 6 more miles, but It's so easy to see things here in the distance because there is absolutely nothing but flat land. I've never seen anything so flat. And I feel good, I feel tired. I think it's because of yesterday. But either way, today was a 60-mile day. Pretty much downwind a lot for the most part. So it was nice to follow up yesterday's 99-mile day, which I felt great afterwards, but I clearly got tired from it. And there's nothing for another 60 miles after this town, so either way I have to stop. Coming into Martin, I'm tired. I only had a couple of sandwiches, like breakfast sandwiches this morning, and just pretty much drank water all day. And I'm hungry, even though it's hard to be hungry after exercising that much, but I gotta get some food in me. I feel really exhausted today. See what I can figure out about where to stay.
Being so tired after these last 2 days, I decided to stay at the Crossroads Inn, where I took the time to fly the drone and get a different glance of Martin and its surrounding vast landscape.
I'm leaving Martin right now. I got 73 miles to get to where I really want to get today, but I have backup in case I can't. And I'm heading into a headwind for a few miles, like maybe 20. But then I'm going to turn southward again and hopefully have a tailwind to get me there. And I'm making my way to Colorado. It's going to be 4 days or so, but I'm going to just methodically go through the plains. It's a little monotonous at times, but it's actually really cool to see the cultural aspect of this area with the Pine Ridge Reservation nearby. I've spoken to and met several Native Americans, and it's been really a pleasure. Anyways, onwards. From Martin, I start heading west on US Route 18, heading to the town of Batesland, 18 miles away. Batesland is in the Oglala, Lakota County and has a mostly Native American population of 108. Once again, I am riding on a narrow shoulder with rumble strips and hardly any traffic at all, and in no time I reach Batesland, where I stop at a checkpoint of the Oglala Lakota tribe, asking people entering the reservation if they had any COVID-19 symptoms. The Oglala are one of the 7 sub-tribes of the Lakota Native Americans and mostly reside in the Pine Ridge Reservation of South Dakota just west of Batesland. The Pine Ridge Reservation is the 8th largest Native American reservation in the United States. I wanted to ride through the reservation, but after talking with the ladies running the checkpoint, I was directed to keep heading south on US Route 18 and later take State Road 391 to Gordon and then US Route 20 to the town of Hay Springs.
Where are you heading?
To the police department.
No symptoms?
No.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
I'm at the Oglala Lakota checkpoint for COVID. They're checking everybody, asking for their names and if they have any COVID symptoms. And I tried last year to go into this area south of the Badlands, but I wasn't allowed because they had really strict mandates not to allow people through that weren't from the reservation. But they've been really sweet to let me pass today, and I'm gonna keep on heading down. How sweet were they? They were so nice. They said that there's a store here, but I don't think I need it, and that pretty soon I'll be heading southbound, which will be tailwind the rest of the day.
I decided to stop at the Handy Stop store and be sure hydrate and refill my bottles. In this store I also met up with a special wolf hat I had to buy and use for the rest of my tour. I was walking in the store and kept feeling as if this wolf hat was staring at me, asking me to take it along. Outside the store I also met this cool dog that was hanging around, and being a dog lover I stood around pretending I was his longtime friend. He was a kind dog, but clearly did not share my sentiment and kept meeting up with everyone that came by, ignoring me altogether. So I got back on the saddle and left Baseline behind, looking to make this left turn a few miles ahead and pick up a tailwind.
I'm about 30 miles into my day of 73 or 5, and the first 20 was straight into a west wind. Oops. And then the next 10 has been like a very gentle turn from west to southbound, and I want to make the last little bit of that turn, and I should have the wind on my back with 45 miles to go. Looking forward to that. I've enjoyed tailwinds last couple of days.
A few miles later, I take a southbound turn on State Road 391 where I ride past another COVID-19 checkpoint, and shortly after I come upon the South Dakota-Nebraska border. Once over the border, 391 turns into Nebraska 27, and I keep on cranking easy miles until reaching the city of Gordon.
Well, that's it for South Dakota. In a few feet, I'm gonna be crossing into Nebraska here. I gotta head down to Colorado. I just gotta get through Nebraska and see what it's gonna provide for me. Right now it's providing a legit north wind pushing me south at 18 miles an hour, just rocking.
With this tailwind, I make it to the city of Gordon fairly quick. This city has a population of about 1,600 and was established as a village in 1885 when the Cowboy Rail Line was extended through the area. I take some time to record Gordon City's center on Main Street before reaching US Route 20, otherwise known as Bridges to Buttes Byway. As I get ready to take a right turn westbound on US Route 20, I unexpectedly find myself on the Cowboy Trail. You can all make fun of me for not knowing about this rail trail, but I wasn't actually planning on this route for the day to start with, as I was originally planning to ride into the Pine Ridge Reservation.
I rode myself right into a rail trail, Cowboy Trail West. I had no idea it was here. That's what a great bicycle tourer I am. And I can't say that I'm gonna take it. It's a crushed pink quartzite, which is kind of cool, but I gotta do close to 30 more miles, and it's only 2:18. I'm gonna have lunch here and consider. I'm gonna get off the trail. I went for a little while and it's so soft. I need to get where I need to get, which is Hay Springs. And I got a nice shoulder on the road and it's paved. I'd much rather be on it. Close to 60 miles, 15 to go, and it's getting pretty out here. The sun's coming down, and heading south makes the pavement shine as the day ends, and it has a pretty spectacular look.
15 miles later and I'm riding through the city of Rushville, another village that was incorporated in 1885 due to the expansion of the railways. It has a population of about 800 and I found it to be quite quaint and somewhat sleepy in character. I could have stayed in Rushville, but with lots of daylight left and enjoying a smooth white shoulder, I kept on riding to the next city of Hay Springs 12 miles away, where I had my eye on a city park I saw on the map with hopes of being able to camp in it. The city of Hay Springs was also established as a village in 1885 and has an even smaller population than Rushville with about 500 residents. Its name is due to the production of hay just east of the city. Once I reached the city center, I stopped at a gas station and asked if it was okay to camp in the city park. The clerk said it was, and in short time I found myself setting up my camp and making some dinner, reminiscing on another spectacular day of bicycle touring.
I just made it to Hay Springs. Been a beautiful day, 76 miles of riding, and I feel really strong, but I also had tailwinds, and I don't know that I'm gonna have them anymore, but while I had them, I took advantage of it. And I kind of came here because I saw that there was a city park, and I didn't know that you could truly camp here. I wasn't 100% sure, but I figured because eastern Nebraska was really friendly to me last year when I toured across the state there, and I asked a couple of people in town and they were like, yeah, it's super friendly, just pick a spot and camp. It's a lot of great cycling ahead of me. I'm far from done on this tour. Also crossed over 3,000 miles. I'm like at 3,200 and probably another 2,000 to go, so I'm just past halfway through this year's tour across America.